someone on the set of It Ends With Us saw firsthand how Justin Baldoni conducted himself during these spicy scenes and then some. And they're willing to expose it all and even testify on behalf of Justin Baldoni.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? Okay, guys. Blake Lively comes out with her amended complaint, and we are all looking at that, going through that 141-page amended complaint, and it's a long one, so get ready, guys, because there's going to be a lot of content flying out the gate on TikTok, YouTube, you name it. It's going to be all over the place. But what's really interesting is that now we have someone who has said, I was on the set of It Ends With Us, and Justin Baldoni's conduct, especially during these spicy scenes with Blake Lively, was very, very sensitive, okay? Very on brand to how Justin Baldoni is perceived in the public eye. And of course, this particular person is saying that Blake Lively, the scenes and all that is obvious. These lies are being spread out here about him. And, you know, this person's willing to testify. This person's willing to pull out all the receipts and everything. Let's get into this. This is crazy. So Justin Baldoni is the victim of obvious lies spread about him by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, an insider on the set of It Ends With Us, okay? Says, all right? So the Hollywood source, who worked closely with the warring pair while making the $350 million movie, claims to have text messages that prove the director was quote unquote caring, sensitive, and thoughtful towards his co-star, especially during those romantic scenes. It came after Ryan and Blake are accused of gaslighting for joking about their bitter row with Justin on that SNL 50th anniversary thing. Okay, so this source was involved in the making of It Ends With Us and is the first person who was on set to speak out after Miss Lively's claims that she was left suffering grief, fear, trauma, and extreme anxiety because of Baldoni's behavior. I got so angry. This is what the source said. I got so angry hearing those obvious lies that I felt compelled to speak my truth. That's what that insider said. Okay, we already know about him doing all kinds of crazy stuff, or at least Blake Lively accusing him of doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, improvised physical intimacy during a spicy scene or a steamy scene without prior discussion or choreography. It also alleged that Baldoni just discreetly biting and sucking on her bottom lip. All right. She also accused Baldoni of showing her explicit videos, photos of other women openly discussing his struggles with spicy content, adult films, okay, and making inappropriate remarks about her, including about her weight, all right? So, but his ally, who does not want to be named in case it hurts their career, but is willing to give their evidence for Justin in court, okay, told this Daily Mail, all right, today, that Mr. Baldoni is the real victim. So he cared so deeply about that movie. It's absolutely ludicrous that anyone could ever say he was anything other than polite, respectful, caring, and professional during the process. I have text messages that show just how sensitive and thoughtful he was about it. That's massive, right? Moving on. The source believes that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively will use their fortune to draw out the legal process to make it as expensive and brutal as possible for Mr. Baldoni. His friends, family, and coworkers know the truth, and at the end, the rest of the public will too. This is what the source added as well. Okay? So again, what is really interesting about this is that you have many people speaking, right? Now you have a source on set. They've even had, there was even an editor I heard speaking out about this, about the experience. A lot of people are leaning to Justin Baldoni's side, going Team Justin throughout this whole entire thing. What's really, really wild, okay, what is really just driving me nuts is that this man is literally fighting for his life, and he doesn't have that long game money. He doesn't. Think about this for a second. What they just said in this article is absolutely right. They can work him till he is bled dry financially, right? They could just keep this moving until the point where he screams uncle. I'm just being real. And then at the end of the day, if he bows out like that, what happens? What do you think happens? Court of public opinion sees this and says, either they go, well, they dried him up financially, or, oh, well, he now finally admits he was the bad guy, right? And then Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds still stands up on the top of that mountain victorious. Clearly, that's not what we want to have happen. We want the truth, right? We want justice served in the right way, in the best way possible. But the fact that you have other people stepping forward and saying, hey, I got text messages showing this. I saw his conduct on set. He was not like this at all. He was a very kind person. He was very sensitive to those spicy scenes. He really cared about this project. He really wanted to make this to become a very successful movie, which it still became a successful movie. It did, right? Everybody and their mama watched it, okay, for what it's worth. Even while this whole debacle was going on, right? While this was percolating in the very beginning, it definitely drew people over to see the movie just to see what was really going on, and how they were able to act on set, if they actually really couldn't stand each other, or if there was creative differences, right? But nonetheless, you got people who are sitting here saying that they saw how Justin was acting, how he was conducting himself, how professional and caring he was about making this movie. And I think that's a massive, massive piece of importance. And the fact that this person is saying, I'm willing to step forward and fight on behalf of him and testify on behalf of Justin Baldoni says a lot. Now, let me just say this too. Let me just say this as well. Let's not forget, there's obviously two sides to every story. All right. And in between is the truth. Sure. What this particular person on set saw, they didn't see the arguments between Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively with Justin Baldoni on script changes and all that. They didn't see any of that, right? They didn't see all the things when the cameras weren't rolling and when the lights are turned off, right? So yes, we got to take this with a grain of salt to a certain extent, but at the same time, it does help with Justin Baldoni's argument, with Justin Baldoni's narrative. This does absolutely help tremendously. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here when this particular source comes forward and actually does testify. Again, if this does see the inside of a courtroom, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. You got to remember, Blake Lively is already putting out saying that she's got emails and other people saying that his misconduct, how he was treating people on set and all that. She already has all that pitted against him, which still looks very faulty in my personal opinion. But at the same time, if those emails and those things were indeed written and responded by Justin Baldoni, then yeah, Justin Baldoni has a lot of explaining to do. But this eyewitness could be absolutely massive in exonerating Justin Baldoni. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? I think this is going to be a very interesting situation, and this is going to be a long year. Let's be real, okay? They ain't going to see the inside of a courtroom until 2026. So this is going to be a long year of them. I feel going back and forth. But I do feel eventually either Brian Friedman, Blake Lively's team, or Justin Baldoni's team is going to drop some huge bombshell that's just going to annihilate either side. And we got a whole year to wait for that, which is going to be insane. Okay. So anyway, guys, what are your thoughts? What do you think? I think it's very interesting that this person is willing to bring it all out and is willing to testify in court. He needs as many witnesses as he can. She's bringing in witnesses. I'm sure there's going to be other names being brought in as well. We'll see what that all entails here very, very soon. But as many people as he can get on his side, the better. So what say you guys? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button, and we'll talk very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.